Show 'em what we've got, chaps.
Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we have another live replay commentary video. You guys seem to really enjoy these. I've done 2 of these in the past week, and they have done very well, and your response to them has been very, very positive. So here we are yet again. This time, however, we have a replay from some T-Soft members. This is DragonKing, Gary, and whomst is in the small Linsk? Yeah, Kerzner is in the small Linsk. And I, again, got a very just description of what happens in this match, but I haven't watched this video just yet. If you guys are wondering how this works, if you haven't caught the past couple of videos, I'm literally watching this for the first time with you guys, so you guys get to hear my live thoughts, reactions, and commentary on what's going on in the battle. So, Gary and Dragon are both in the Tier 10 British battleship Conqueror, and Kerzner's in the small Linsk. This is, in fact, a very evil division. This is the old burn everything to the ground, burn everything to the kill division. I don't imagine Dragon or Gary are going to be hitting the 2 key anytime this match, or Kerzner for that stretch of the imagination. But who knows? Who knows? I was told that this replay gets very interesting, and they have to, well, you'll see. Again, I don't know exactly what goes on, but I have an idea. So, the Conqueror is the Tier 10 British battleship. She has 12 16-inch guns. These ships do have the British BB-HE, which has amazing alpha, great fire chance, and good God, I don't know if it has like a hidden feature or a hidden characteristic where it can rip modules, AA mounts off of the ship better, but it does certainly feel like it when you play, or when you're playing against a Conqueror. You get hit with one salvo, like half of your AA's dead, your secondaries are all gone, so forth and so on. So they are on the Greece map. Looks like the friendly team is going heavy out to the western side. On this map, around the A cap, this is where a lot of the action normally happens, but it's not a lot of mobile action. It's a lot of, hey, we're here, we're going to sit here, we're going to stare at the enemy team, and typically whoever's DDs dies less going into the A cap, that tends to be who went. Ooh, there you go. 13k off of the Schlieffen. He broke, I think, both of the torpedo tubes on that side. Well, he didn't break them. They're knocked out for now, but I promise you with another salvo or two, they're probably going to get broke. In fact, I think that's Gary's salvo right there. He probably just broke them right there. He did start a fire. The Schlieffen very wisely did not damage con that single fire that Dragon started. He is saving it. It looks like, no, still just the one fire on the stern, unless, up there you go. What did I say? He just broke the Schlieffen's torpedo tubes, one of them. I'm surprised he didn't start a second fire there. Out east is typically where the game's actually won at, depending upon who can actually make that push, either from north to south or south to north, and flank the team that's in a stalemate position in the west. Bowen Moskva here, very unwise decision going Bowen in a Soviet large ship this early on and this close to the enemy team. Soviet large ships, what it means, like the Moskva, Stalingrad, Petro, Kremlin, those ships are excellent at just sticking bow into the enemy team and tanking. However, you have to do it at the right place at the right time. Getting bow in front of half the friendly team right now is not a very wise decision for this Moskva, especially when there's 2 Conquerors involved and a small Linsk. So he's at half health already. Ooh, what was that? Oh, the pottery. Typically with the Moskva, you want to find a position where there's not a bunch of HE spammy ships, even though the Moskva does only have the cruiser burn time, not the battleship burn time, and then you can, you know, hug an island there and be a darn tanky ship. But again, parking yourself in front of the 2 Conquerors in the small Linsk isn't really ideal. So good salvo from Dragon there. Another 6,000 off of the Moskva with another fire going on. Dragon manages to finesse that gap there to where he only needs one of them. Pops his heel a little early there. I think that was just reactive. So the other thing about the Conqueror is that the Conqueror does get a super heal. And Dragon has, in fact, well, kind of wasted it here. He is eating damage still, but never mind. He hasn't wasted it. If it wasn't for that vibe check from the Ohio, he would have just wasted that that heal there. But that is something you can do with a Conqueror heal. If you do know you're about to eat dirt, you can pop it in anticipation of that, and it will keep you alive. And I mean, look at that. He just ate a Citadel salvo from the Ohio, and he's still at half health. Not many battleships can do that. You know what I'm saying? On top of all the damage he's already eaten. And now he's 12 kilometers away from the Patry. By the way, 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser, 1 battleship down on the friendly side. 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser down on the enemy side. Patry's 12 kilometers away from him, which is not really where you want to be in proximity to a Patry. Scores 446 to 258. By the way, the enemy team does have 2 caps. Friendly teams only have the home cap that they start with. That Shimakaze, poor Shimakaze has been trying to get to the A cap. Starts to fire on the Patry, and he got a good alpha chunk out of him there too. Patry's coded in 32mm, something that a lot of British ships likes to see. That was from the Schlieffen bounces those. So if you look at right now, looks like the Patry and the Moskva. They've essentially cut the team off from their eastern allies. I don't expect that Patry and that Kitakaze down there are going to be alive for much longer. Alright, pops his heal again. Me again, I would have waited a little while longer to pop that heal. I mean, you guys that have seen me live stream or see my videos know I wait till the last freaking second to pop my heal. See, he wasted about 7 seconds of that there. So I would have held on to that for a little while longer. Not sure if he just wasn't thinking or forgot about the heal of the Conqueror there. Let's see. So he's got a Moskva that's fairly low back here. Dragon is scooching on over to the eastern side to help out the Patry and the Kitakaze. It seems he will probably get this Moskva here. Friendly team is down 2 cruisers, 1 battleship, and 1 DD, down to the now 3 ships that the enemy team is down. It's not looking good for the friendly team. They're down by almost 300 points at this point. And, good God. Looks like Kerzner did unfortunately get knocked out. I wouldn't be surprised with how close up that Patry and the other battleships are actually pushing in this round. Plus, he's on a small lens. Everyone wants to murder the small lens. Ooh, a full health Napoli. Yeah, the enemy ships over here, they're still really, really healthy. Meanwhile, if you look at the friendly ships, they're quite low. Gary just popped his heal. He's going bow on with the Patry at the moment. Now, the Patry does only have 17-inch guns. It does not have 18-inch guns, so he can bow tank that. But he's also got the Sejal, the Schlieffen, the Ohio, and the Summers, probably all throwing ordnance at him from behind concealment. Now, Dragon does have a, broadside shot here on the Patry. Keeping the HE loaded and throwing more HE at the Patry. And 8,000, I mean, yeah, so this is my thing with the Conqueror and the British battleships. You can load AP here, and the AP would be quite good, but for a lot of players, just keeping the HE loaded with the HE off on the fire chance, it's simply good enough. So you kind of get stuck in the mindset of, well, I'm just going to keep HE loaded all the time, and, you know, in situations where AP would be the better option, you just kind of don't do it. Because the HE is, again, good enough. Even though it doesn't hit the ship, he breaks a secondary mount there. Did y'all see that? Alright. So the Patry's coming out. I would have AP loaded right here. Oh, well, Patry just killed their Shimakaze that's been trying to cap forever. Okay, so Minnesota does get the Patry there. That takes the fight more in the direction of the enemy team, but again, more in the direction of the friendly team, but the enemy team still has a big advantage. It's still have that trio of ships pushing down east. 4 hits there on, what was it, the Schlieffen he was shooting at? That's another, 5,000-6,000 damage? Oh, Summers. Hello, Summers, from 7 kilometers away. Dragon should be able to just disintegrate the Summers. Because look at the Shijong. Summers goes undetected. Schlieffen is low. It's a tough call. You know, do you shoot the lightly armored cruiser in the background that you know is going to cause you pain later? Or do you shoot the low health Schlieffen? Do you try and shoot the Summers and hope that dispersion is kind to you? Because the Conqueror doesn't really have the best dispersion ever. And you do have to deal with that. Which is another reason why a lot of players keep HE loaded, because you only need to land 3 or 4 shells of HE, and you're good. If you look at the leaderboards now, all of the friendly teams' DDs are down, and now so is their golden loose. So we have 5 versus 6 at the moment, with again about a 300-point lead at the moment. So now that Summers is back in cap. Let's say now that Dragon's capping, it appears that the Summers has left the cap. The Summers, in fact, has not left the cap at this moment. It's like Gary burned down, I believe, the Schlieffen there in the kill feed. So Dragon is launching his depth charge play to see if the Summers was silly enough to leave his A on. Now, the Summers won't get spotted, but he did get spotted. It's not the plane spotting him, though. His AA guns will fire, and you'll get a general idea of where he's at. But this looks like the Summers opened up on Gary and the Conqueror, which is very odd. Most DDs won't do that, unless the enemy ship's very, very, very low. Ah, hello, Ohio. Ooh. Another solid hit from the Ohio. Again, here I would have loaded AP. Oh man, someone just vibe checked that man, and Dragon finishes him off. Oh, it's probably the Minnesota. Again, Dragon, why are you popping your heals so early, my dude? I'm not sure if they were just playing a bunch of different ships beforehand, and he got used to the heal of, let's say, the Montana or something. But again, that was another waste of the Conqueror heal there. Alright, so Sejong is retreating at this moment. Gary is moving on over to the B cap. Now, the bad thing is that all of their DDs are down, which means they have no spotting and no one to really stealthily take caps. So now Gary and Dragon have to do this in their Conquerors, because the other teammates don't want to get anywhere near the caps. So this is something that you have to do when you get to this low of ships on your teams. You have to push in there and take the caps, but the Minnesota, the Yoshida, and the Patri don't want to do that. So Dragon and Gary here having to do it. Okay, so he gets the a Citadel on the Shizhong. That, gotta love that HE. Alright, he's down to 7,000 HP. Now that since the Shizhong is dead, all he has to worry about is the Adriatico, who, if he loads his guns here fast enough, he can take out and potentially survive this fire. Yep, there we go. Breaks a torpedo and a couple AA mounts on the way out. Will he live? Let's see. Dragon, are you going to live here? 2 seconds to the damage con, and yep. Now you see, Dragon, this is why you save your heals. Because he could have absolutely healed through that. Again, I'm not sure if he just got confused or something like that, because when you play a bunch of ships all night long, you kind of forget what characteristics go with what ship, and they kind of just blend together. Alright, so now since they did that, so it looks like the Minnesota is finally deciding to push up. So they are in the lead right now with ships. Again, the enemy team still has the Summers. Napoli is pushing the Patri. Don't know what health the Patri's at. Oh, and the Summers are they're all three pushing the Pat. That's smart on the enemy team side. Super ships are super ships, but I mean they can't, take that much. Oh yeah, no, he's low. That's probably a dead Patri right there. Napoli is more than tanky enough to deal with that. Although he is at pretty low health, and if Dragon can get this shot off, and the Napoli does a tactical beach there. Dragon takes advantage of that, sends the HE on the way. Doesn't get detected because he is behind the island, and gets a solo cap for his troubles. And unfortunately, the Patri does go down, but ooh, is he going to burn out? He had a fire on him. He's going to burn. I think the Patri secondary started a fire, so the Patri's going to get a... Yep. No, that was Gary's fire. Okay, cool. Once again, Gary and Dragon having to put in the work because, yeah, that's how it goes now. So now just the Marco Polo left. Just got to farm this fellow down. Marco Polo does have 16-inch sap shells, and they are quite, well, they hurt when they hit, but they don't hit that often. And plus, Dragon is 1 kill away here from a Kraken. So, this is a game that I've seen played out a lot recently, where the friendly team just doesn't want to, get near the caps or do anything that they need to win, and they just sit back. The difference here is that Dragon and Gary and Kerzner did get in the caps, especially that they were going to fire on the Marco Polo, especially Dragon and Gary late game. Again, the Yoshino, I think he stuck his start in the cap for like 5 seconds, but that's about it. So if you're not willing to do that, and to push up and get closer to the objective and capture the objective, you're not going to win no matter what. And Gary's going to take the C cap just in case. Another fire on the Marco Polo here from Dragon, because you don't know what can happen. This Marco Polo could get a detonation on the Minnesota. The Minnesota could derp into a wall of Summers torps, things like that. So you always need to be doing something to help your team win. All right, come on, Dragon, get the Kraken here. He should, just with like 2 or 3 of these shells hitting, that should be enough alpha to... There we go. Kraken unleashed along with coordinated attack for the division. So Dragon's got, what's that, Strike Team, Dev Strike. He's got, God, what's that? That's, what's that object, that third one called? That's the Squad Confederate, I believe. Then Kraken, and then the Division Kraken as well. Alright, so I believe this is pretty much game for this match. Let's see what the Summers does. I'm just curious. Is he going to run and just prolong the game? Again, he's probably just sailing circles around the Minnesota right now, trying to get a torpedo wall off on him. And, oh, nope, there he is. Oh, he went up to C. I mean, I don't know if that would have been the right call. Because, the Minnesota's slow. It's a big target. Doesn't have a super heal. The Conqueror does have a super heal. So I don't think, Gary could eat pretty much all of these as long as his heal's up. He can, push right through the damage and it's not going to matter. Yeah, that's weird. I thought he would have gone for the Minnesota. Again, slower target, bigger target. I know the Minnesota, the battleship line does have a, high torpedo protection rate, but again, with the amount of torpedoes that the Summers can chunk out, does it really matter? And I've seen single DDs win with, more odds stacked against them beforehand. Never underestimate the ability for a team to throw at the last second. Dragon gets a little bit of blind firing in on the smoke. Let's see if he hits him. I will giggle if he does. Nope. No giggle today. Although Gary is absolutely just, full W-keying him at the moment. Again, it's a Conqueror. Like, you can eat a wall of his torpedoes and be perfectly fine. Let's see. So I believe Gary is actually in the smoke now. And again, if Gary can catch him with his full broadside, the guy's dead. I don't think any DD can survive a full broadside from a Conqueror with most of the shells connecting, thanks to the HE Alpha. Minnesota has finally decided to get into a cap. He's gotten to the D cap. I know the ship's slow, but he was just kind of chilling back the entire time. Yeah, go ahead and get that solo capper, but get that easy 1,000 base XP. Let's see. What's going to happen here? Ah, Summers has been called against the wall. Full health Summers, too. Nowhere to run. So, will Dragon somehow get a 6? I don't think so, because the, yeah, Summers is going to run and go dark. There we go. A couple of shells connected from Gary's Conqueror. Oh. Gary, you going to live? You going to live, Gary? Gary's going to live. I guess his heal's on cooldown. Ah. He got Gary at the last second. Yeah, no, Gary was absolutely face tanking during the first, what was it, the first 5 to 10 minutes, if you guys remember. He was like chilling by the B cap, face tanking the pod tree for his team. So I think he's out of heals at this moment. So the Summers gets a kill, and he's probably just going to run around for the rest of the match. Again, let's see what happens here. Will Dragon avenge Gary? That would be a very poetic end. Although I think the points are going to tick up before them. Summers still looks like he's got his AA off. Again, you're not trying to spot him with this. You're trying to get a general idea of where he is, because the AA round animations will still go up with the AA crews on the Summers shooting at the depth charge planes. Looks like the answer to that question is no. There's 45 seconds left on the clock. I would love for Dragon to pick up the Summers here at the end, or someone to pick up the Summers here at the end. Summers is now detected. Let's see. Well, not Summers is detected. Oh, nope, there we go. Dragon was detected. And that's the game. So, yeah. Gary, Dragon, Kerzner do a bit of hard carrying there. They didn't include the end screen nor the commander builds with that, so sad panda. But nonetheless, a very fine example of what happens when you have a couple of players that are willing to push up and do things rather than sit back and just, go with the flow in the passive high tier meta that is the meta in today's world of Warships. So again, let me know in the comments down below if you guys enjoy this live commentary replay style. Again, you guys seem to really like the last couple of them, so as long as you guys enjoy this, we'll keep on doing it. So again, hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.